What's up guys, MikeCoco back here, bringing you guys a Costumes of the Month video for May, and we have 3 more new costumes, one for Mythic and the others for the Legendary or regular heroes. So we'll go right into the Mythic heroes. Remember that all Mythic heroes will get a costume eventually. So the first one is Raguel, and surprisingly enough, his costume actually doesn't increase defense, which is, I don't know, it's a little bit weird because pretty much every single costume we've had so far buffed attack, HP, and defense pretty much equally, and this is the first time we see that it does not increase defense, which is a little bit weird, nothing too significant, um, but he does get a 20% attack boost and a 20% HP boost, but the more interesting part is about his skill. Now, despite the fact that his costume looks totally stupid, the skill is actually quite important because, as you can see here, well, the pumpkins are actually getting in the way. The skill actually does a weapon or an attack and defense reduction by 40%, which is basically Jannette's skill. So, spoilers alert, this month's costumes aren't actually that good. So if you're gonna pick up a costume, I'd recommend getting Raguel. Um, So it's pretty much only useful if you have this mythic hero already, because by having this attack and defense reduction, you can completely remove Jannette from your team or your Asus or whoever you're using for attack and defense debuff. You can completely remove them and add in another damage dealer or support. You know, for example, Pram is not like Pram is not really used much, I see, because a lot of people prefer other hero combos. So you can use that to increase crit because her crit scales up to 75%, which is a lot better than Neff. Or you can sub in someone like, I don't know, some exposed weakness to get more crits out. But something like that, you get one more free spot by getting Raguel's costume. So his costume is actually pretty worth it. Now, obviously, his costume is not available for everyone because not everybody has a mythic. Um, and the chances that you'll pull a mythic is like 1 in like 6 billion. I don't know how many mythics there are, just probably like 6, and assuming it's like 1 in 1 billion chance to get a mythic, you multiply that by 1/6. Okay, but whatever. Aside from the math, we have Daphne, who is the next hero for the costume, and I think they're trying to go for a Catwoman theme or something. So here you see that we do get the attack, defense, and HP buff, and the skill is only changed slightly. Her skill now reduces spear users' fury consumption by 50%. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot, and it truly is, because if you go take a look at the heroes we have right now, how many of them do you use that are spears, and how many of them are actually heroes? Just think about that for a second. So we have, let's see, 6 mythical heroes, and none of them are spears. In let's see, in S7 we have, oh, S7 hasn't been fully released yet. So in S6, how many are spear users? Coincidentally, none of them. Let's go back to season 5. Who is a spear user? You've got Neff, and that's it. You've got Neff, that's it. So that's it for season 5. How about season 4? Season 4 you got Daphne, that's a spear user, and again, that's it. You don't have any more. In season 3, who do you have as a spear user? You have Remia, and again, that's it. Now, S2 and S1 is not worth talking about. So looking at all of these heroes right now, as of now, not including any heroes that are coming down in the down the road. Of course, there's going to be a spear mythical hero eventually, or maybe even soon. I don't remember. But as of now, there are no good spear heroes you would ever use in your team. Daphne's skill is simply an attack debuff, which is now covered by Adriel, Rideran, Jannette, Asus. There's so many heroes that do this. The only thing that she has is a reduction of critical hit, and that really doesn't seem to be that useful at all compared to other debuffs. So having a 50% reduction for spears, that's great, but who do you actually use? You have to think about that for a second. If you're not using any spears, then her costume is pointless, and that's what I find about her costume. It is absolutely pointless because nobody is using spear heroes anymore. Even with the buff that made their spears damage stable, there just aren't enough good spear heroes aside from pretty much Neff, and that's it. So Daphne, pretty much do not recommend at all. Dark Knight or Dark Knight or Black Knight. I forgot his name. It's one of the two. Again, he has the across the board 20% increase, and his skill is slightly different. It's kind of like Rideran's skill, where he increases the physical defense for your heroes, except for the fact that this only lasts for, or this only works for your sword heroes. So rather than buffing in a row, he will buff all sword heroes. It doesn't matter where they are on the board. He will buff their physical defense by 50%. And this is equivalent to Rideran's, because a legendary Rideran will also increase physical defense by up to 50% when you're at level 100. And here the number is not in red, so I'm assuming it's not scaling past 50, because that would be extremely OP. That's like having 100% more defense, that's like 2 times the defense. That's too much, and it would be way too OP. But as you can see here, it's just a 50% physical defense, which is the same as Rideran. But remember that Rideran also has that magical defense buff, which is, albeit not a lot, it's just a point I would like to make out, that there is a magical defense portion in Rideran's skill. So Dark Knight and Rideran seem to have some similarities. However, Dark Knight doesn't get the attack reduction, while Rideran's skill will get attack reduction. So Rideran will be able to cover attack and defense and increase physical defense for heroes in a row, while Dark Knight will only decrease defense and increase the physical defense for all sword heroes. Dark Knight will also have a higher reduction at 50% versus Rideran's 40%. Rideran's 40% is capped. Even past level 50 is always going to remain as a 40% defense and attack. So there's a 10% difference, so just beware of that. But otherwise, I really don't see a point in getting Dark Knight either, because if you think about it, how many, again, this comes to the point of choosing your heroes. It depends on how many sword heroes you're running. Obviously, if you're running a lot of sword heroes, because there are actually a lot of mythic heroes that are sword, we have the majority of them are actually sword. So you've got Dread Queen Karina, you've got where's Raphael, you got Tehu. Actually, that's only 3. So it's only 3 heroes that are sword, but that is actually half. So half of the mythic heroes are sword users. So if you're using them, then of course Dark Knight will work well. However, if you do want a better costume and you're saving for the future, Jannette's costume will basically perform Dark Knight's job, but better, because rather than decreasing or increasing physical defense, she negates damage. So rather than having to work out how much defense and HP you need, she will completely just reduce defense by a certain percent. So that you should probably take note of, but her costume will take actually quite a bit of time, at least I think 6 to 8 months. So it depends if you want to splurge on Dark Knight now and then get Jannette later. It doesn't really matter. But as you can see, the problem with using all sword heroes is that on your team you can't just have all sword heroes, because sword heroes don't have enough reach. They can only hit the first target with their normal attack, and you want something that can hit past the first target, so hits anywhere on the board, like a cannon or a bow. So that limits your usage of sword heroes, especially since we have certain hero combos, and the ones that take up a lot of space, like the 4 hero ones, or the pretty much the 4 hero ones, they limit you to around 5 heroes, and then you would have to pick sword heroes and somehow fit your entire team with sword heroes and the needed support skills to take advantage, or to take the most advantage of Dark Knight's skill. So obviously, Dark Knight is, I think Dark Knight, it could go either way whether or not you want to get him, but I still think that Raguel's costume is the best, even though that he is a mythic. So Dark Knight, it completely depends on whether or not you want him. Personally, I wouldn't go for him, because we have a lot of people that decrease defense by 50%. EK comes to mind, and EK does a lot more damage than Dark Knight, simply because she has that extra dot at the back that's just waiting to explode. And increasing physical defense, we have that with Rideran. If you grinded hard enough, you could have got legendary Rideran by now. But yeah, at this month's costumes are kind of underwhelming, and kind of being an understatement. So quite underwhelming actually. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this month's costumes. There is another event where if you post a picture with your new costumes, you get like 3 rank 6 tickets, but the event is so pointless because these costume boxes cost like 2,000 gold, or not 2,000 gold. What am I saying? 2,000 hearts. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it is. There we go. That's 2,000 hearts. That's like saying that 3 rank 6 tickets are equivalent to 2,000 hearts. You can get a legendary hero from the Chrono Shop for 2,000 hearts. So I don't see why anybody would go and try to get a costume just to get those, just to get the tickets for the event. So next time, if you're watching this, bad event, okay? If you want people to buy the costume, you give them a legendary. You don't pay them with like rank 6 tickets. That's everyone can start farming tickets by now, so there's really no need. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my costume. First impressions, just get Raguel if you have him. Otherwise, just skip this one's costumes. You can splurge your hearts on whatever, Chrono, Miracle Merchant, or whatever else you want. But yeah, do prepare for next month's heroes, or costumes rather. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Peace.